What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new Dragon Ball Legends video on Dragon Ball Central. Today, guys, we have got a lot to talk about, ranging from some confirmed things that are obviously going to be coming in the next update because it was teased in the latest V-Jump, to things that aren't necessarily confirmed but might still be likely, and then, the wish list of things that probably won't be coming but would be a really, really nice surprise. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, guys, so right off the bat, just want to make sure you guys know that I am not going to be commentating anything happening over there because it's just something for you guys to watch while we're talking about all of the stuff that's going on with this next update. But with that said, guys, let's just hop into this list. I've got a list of, again, everything that's confirmed, unconfirmed but likely, and then unconfirmed and not likely, but I still really want it. So starting out with confirmed, we have got Super Saiyan Shalit, which also indirectly confirms, or sort of kind of directly confirms, actually, character transformation of some kind. Now, we don't know how that's going to work yet. It very well could be something that only happens in-game. It very well could be something that happens out of game. It could happen in cutscenes for specific characters only in story mode. But based on the leaks that we saw, where the identifier of a possible transformation, and then, having that sort of it was kind of like a spreadsheet that was imported into a spreadsheet, and there was a spot where another character model could be sort of put in for a transformation. So something needs to initiate the transformation, most likely a main ability that's going to give an arts card for a transformation. I would imagine that's what it's probably going to be, which means that some characters, like Cooler, for example, and even Hercule, are going to have an indirect buff, because if you can destroy a transformation card, that'll probably be very valuable moving on forward. But that's sort of reading a little bit too much into it. We're going to just sort of back it up a little bit. But what we have been guaranteed here is that we have Super Saiyan Shalit, which means that character transformation of some kind is confirmed. Now, at its worst surface level, it could be something that happens in the story mode, which would mean that this won't be something that happens in future units, at least most likely. Now, best case scenario, in my opinion, is one of two situations. The first of which being that, again, it's an arts card that's gotten by a main ability that you use, and then your character transforms, and that's going to be something that can be implemented into plenty of units moving forward in time. And another thing I would not be too, peeved about, I would not be too upset about, would be if it was like soul boosting almost, where you go into a specific screen for it and you can sort of promote them, again, sort of like a Z Awakening or a Dokkan Awakening, like you see in Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. So, yeah, all around, guys, I think that Super Saiyan Shalit confirms a lot more than people were originally talking about. Again, some more normal mode story as well going to be added, because we need some sort of explanation as to what elicits this Super Saiyan transformation, and that's probably going to explain exactly how the mechanic works as well. Next up, obviously, we are going to be seeing main ability changes of some kind. As you know right now, Shalit does not have a main ability that changes him into a Super Saiyan version of himself. And they did mention that there are going to be some kind of, main ability transformation, main ability, changes of some kind. We don't have any specifics, again, on how that's exactly going to work, but we know there's going to be different main abilities for some characters. Again, this could be something that they just sort of retrofit to previous characters that maybe they want to buff, maybe they just want to change around for whatever reason. But it also could be like an ironclad mechanic in the game where you might be able to change around main abilities. Again, also we have, the mechanic with Shalit where he can get, the special arts cards from other characters in the game. So that's also pretty exciting. All of these things could be built out into major mechanics that have their own menus and everything, again, like soul boosting or other things that you can do in the game. And they also very well could be, very surface level, very basic integrations of those particular things. Next up, guys, the second thing that we have confirmed that's very, very important to talk about is going to be the new banner with Majin Buu, Gotenks, and Devorah. So, all around, guys, I think that Majin Buu and Gotenks are very, very exciting. Devorah, not so much right now. Now, I will withhold judgment here because I'm going to as well as we wait for the new update to hit, because I think it's very possible we do see, some new tags and things like that. We'll talk about that in a minute. But, there are a lot of things that could happen that makes Devorah actually much better than he initially seems from our current understanding of Dragon Ball Legends. But right now, Majin Buu obviously should have the regeneration tag. Obviously, if he does, he's going to be really, really cool. Obviously, right now, what we know about him, he has a lot of really fantastic abilities, whether it be his main abilities, unique abilities, or, anything else attached to him. There's a lot of different utility, I guess, that could be integrated into his particular character, and we're seeing a lot of that just thrown in. I'd imagine it's going to be a little bit less effective than maybe specific characters that's their entire shtick, that's their entire use is, a specific ability that they do have. For example, Bardock, locking him down. When you switch in Majin Buu, it has the same effect. Will it happen for 10 seconds? I kind of doubt it. It'll probably only be for 3 to 5 seconds. So, we still maintain the same unique usage for Bardock, and maybe there's just a lot of utility, but not as potent utility on Majin Buu. Then Gotenks, you guys know, that Hybrid Saiyans are so OP right now. Gotenks, if he's a strike arts-based character, is going to be just dumb. Blast arts also would be kind of dumb. All around, just being a Hybrid Saiyan, it's dumb. It's just dumb. Let's be real here. He's going to be powerful. He's going to slot right into the team, and people are going to pull for him. Now, guys, we also know, nothing specific past that, but we know there's other stuff coming. They wouldn't have called it a huge update if all they were going to add was a new banner and then some character transformations. Now, that's big. Don't get me wrong. That's a huge update, but I don't think they would have hyped it up like that if that was all that was coming. Now, I don't know for sure if there's going to be anything past that. I can't say for certain, but I really think it's likely that there's going to be something else. That's confirmed that there is something else coming that has not been teased, that is not currently known, that we have no information on right now. Now, that could be sort of, I guess, expanding on some of the things that we are seeing integrated in that we do have confirmed. So, again, main ability transformations or changes of some kind, and then actual character transformation could be integrated farther and be a full-fledged feature that we don't actually know yet, but, that could sort of, that could extend it into being a huge update by their own justification, in my opinion. But I doubt that they would have called it a huge update if all we're getting was Super Saiyan Shalit and a new banner. Now, guys, we've got a list of things that are unconfirmed, but probably pretty likely to see here. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is not so fun to talk about, but you know what? It's probably going to be happening sooner or later. We have got the sidestep nerf. Now, we don't know how significant it's going to be. We don't know how ridiculously it's going to hit endgame players or the just general depth of the game as a whole. We have no idea how it's going to go down, guys. So I think it goes without saying that we don't know how severe of a nerf it's going to be and how severely this is going to hit the general competitive nature of endgame in Dragon Ball Legends, but it will most likely be coming with this update, and it's not something I'm necessarily excited about, but it is something that is likely to be coming in the next update. Now, moving on forward, we got a little bit of a tangent to jump off on because it's going to be a little bit better to talk about this stuff, some more exciting things. So, first off, likely we are going to see new tags, the main reason being that Devorah does not fit into many, if any, tags that are currently in the game. He kind of just is off on his own, and I doubt that many characters are going to have no tags. Again, I could see Hercule having no tags because, despite being the champ, he should have, the world champion tag or something like that. But, nobody else could have that tag to take advantage of it, so it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. Now, with that said, Devorah, if he's going to be a draw, if he's going to be some reason that people want to spend a whole bunch of chronos on the next banner, then he's probably going to need to have some tags that integrates him into a team. And as far as existing tags are concerned, I will say that most likely we are going to be seeing some new ones that are sort of tacked onto him, maybe retroactively sort of pushed onto other units that aren't necessarily super tagged out. They don't have a lot of tags attached to them. And that's, again, sort of what we saw with the category system in Dokkan, so they definitely have some precedent to do this. Next up, we've got new stages and new missions. Now, I think it's almost certain that they're going to be adding new missions, but, something could happen. They could prioritize a lot of other things before missions, so I'm not going to say it's confirmed because they haven't directly confirmed it, but I think it's like ridiculously likely. I will say that it's way more likely than not. I'd give it like a 9-to-1 here of maybe there's like a 10% chance, a 5 to 10% chance they don't add in new missions because of some reason, but otherwise there's going to be new missions, guys. Stages, I don't know about. It kind of depends on what we see with the new story mode and if we see new missions with a new event. which is, again, another thing that might be added. Again, unconfirmed, but probably pretty likely that we are going to be seeing a continuation into the Majin Buu saga of, you know, the events that are coming out. So most likely we're going to see like an extreme version of one of the new units, and that'll actually be also added into the new events that are coming out. Hopefully. I got my fingers crossed. I think it's pretty likely. Now, guys, we have got the unconfirmed and not likely, but I really want it list. We've got two things to talk about. I don't think either of them are coming, but I'd be very pleasantly surprised if they did. First off, guys, all of the PvE players that are mainly focused on Dokkan right now, because just they want to play PvE casually until they want to play some, you know, more hardcore, challenging casual play. And that's sort of contradictory, I understand, but PvE content by default is going to be casual, okay? It's not a competitive thing. It's just not. Now, if you're trying to get better times than someone else, maybe it does become competitive. Maybe it does become a little bit more hardcore. But right now, guys, endgame PvE content does not exist in Dragon Ball Legends. Every single part of the game as a whole, you know, pushes you, funnels you towards an end game of PvP. And that's really the fact of the matter here. You know, the rewards on a season basis are going to be PvP. That's the end game. That is what they're pushing you towards. If they wanted to sort of entice some of these Dokkan players that more prefer PvE stuff, that don't necessarily want to play a PvP endgame, but they still really enjoy the game, maybe they enjoy the combat system, or just all the characters being in 3D and everything like that, you know, having sort of a Xenoverse-light type of feel to it, I think that a lot of people would be really into a challenge mode of some kind, you know, sort of like the Super Battle Roads that we saw released recently with Dokkan. Something similar to that, but maybe in the Legends style, would be very well appreciated by a lot of the player base. I can guarantee you that. And it would be very, very fun for a lot of us content creators to make videos on. As you guys have seen, again, a lot of the Dokkan content creators have been making, you know, a video on each of these Super Battle Roads, and it's been really, really cool, honestly. It's probably some of the most challenging content in the entire game. And that's saying something, you know, that's significant, because there's so much content in that game, despite what a lot of the player base would say. So I think that it's definitely not going to be coming in this update. I'm about positive it's not coming in this update. I think they would have sort of teased something like that. But it's a huge update by their own admission. Is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? No. Do I want it? Absolutely, my dude. And finally, guys, I think it's pretty unlikely that we do see a PvP rework of some kind, but I would love to see that, you know, making it so maybe disconnectors are punished a little bit more. Maybe they shut down mod usage by, you know, validating certain parts of the app every time you open it up. It might take the loading screen a little bit longer to get through it, but I do think that it's very possible they do sort of add things like that sort of eliminates cheating, because if they're going to focus on a PvP endgame, then there can't be constant cheating towards the top of the ranks. There's just no way that's going to be sustainable like that. People are going to get upset, and eventually, you know, they will quit because of this type of thing. It's very, very common to see in less, I guess, secure games, you know, that have online play on the App Store. So I think it's likely that we do see some kind of change in PvP, but probably not a full-on rework. Again, is it possible? Absolutely. A huge update. You know, you would expect something very, very unknown, very, very unlikely to be added in this update to make it huge. But at the same time, I can't say it's likely, because they're focusing so much on other features during this update. They very well could be talking specifically about all the things we have confirmed and just building them out as full-fledged features. And, you know, again, challenge stages and PvP rework would probably fall on the back burner to those features. But yeah, guys, that is going to be about it for this one. Thank you so very much for watching. Really do appreciate it. As always, hope you guys have a fantastic day. Let me know down in the comment section below, what do you think is going to be in the next update? If it's already out at the viewing of this video, I know a lot of you guys actually pop into these videos significantly after they're relevant. So if you watched it to the end, let me know what you think of the new update if it's already out. But otherwise, guys, I cannot wait for it. There's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about in the coming days, and I cannot wait to record some videos and talk to you guys about it. We'll have some nice discussions and stuff. But yeah, let me know what you think of the confirmed, the unconfirmed, and the not likely and unconfirmed down in the comments section below. And what do you expect with the next update? Until the next one, guys, have a fantastic day. Peace.